Again, we're from the Hartford Symphony Orchestra. We're really excited to have Melissa come back to you guys. We were here, was it November, October, something like that, where I had like 2 months in the job. I had no idea what I was doing, but now that I do, I want to make sure that you guys know that if you ever want to come to the orchestra concert at the Bushnell or something else, just tell your teacher. We will put tickets aside for you. We'd love for you to come. We have tickets this weekend, all the time. Whenever you want to go, let us know. We have some other opportunities there for you, but really that's what I want to talk about. But I got thrown out because, anytime somebody else mentions that she won a Grammy, that's usually my job to talk about that. So instead, the last time we were here, I didn't get to introduce Jen. She's our assistant. Her big news is she's been engaged in the last 3 or 4 months. I couldn't share about the Grammy, so I have to. So you're bringing my engagement, thanks. So now it's all about Melissa. Thank you guys for having us. We really enjoyed here. It's a great opportunity for us.
Thank you. All right, thanks everybody. Make sure, hang around people who hype you up, all right? Because we're not so good at hyping ourselves up, but we all deserve it. So get you a crowd that does it no matter what. But anyways, really happy to be back. Complete honesty, transparency. So my residency with the symphony brings me back over the course of the season, so that's why I saw you in the fall. I'm back, and we were talking about what we want to do, and they asked if there's anywhere I wanted to return back to, and you guys were one of my top places I wanted to make sure I go. Seriously, I told them. So that's how we made this happen a second time, so thanks for having us. I'm very excited to be here. And since I saw you, last month, I did win a Grammy. Thanks, squad. But it was all, honestly, it's all a shock. You don't know until they rip open that envelope and say who the Grammy goes to. But even from the time of being nominated, I didn't know that many people knew we had made an album. So even being nominated was a surprise, and then you get invited to go to the Grammys in case you win the Grammy and you can be there. So that part was a surprise, but it was a very fun event. So grateful. I don't have the trophy yet, or else I would have brought it straight. But they engrave it and then mail it, so I'll get it later in the spring.
Next time.
Next time. That was quite cool. All right, so we jump in with some music.
So we're going to start with Mason and Aries and Sebastian for the Bach double.
Okay, no, that's not hers. because that's where the sound comes through, right? So you're fine, but because we're gonna have to angle the second stand, we sort of angle both of our stands. So this way, put your body around. Yes. So you see how now, no matter what you're looking at or how you play, your sound is trapped. Yes, exactly. And then can you still see each other? Yeah. That's fine? Okay, great. So when you stand up and perform, remember, it's not just this way. Include the audience that way. Okay? All right. Good. That's step one. And then I just want to double check with your last solo you wrote yourself. No, sure that I know it's French. You're like, one note. But it's only because you're solo. It's going to be natural there. Good. Now, when we each have your solos, that's your time to like take the mic and shine. How do we take the mic? Like, what do we do with the violin? Closer to the bridge, more weight. One more thing. More of it. More of the bow. Okay, so opening the arm, closing the arm, getting to the frog. How much do you two practice together? Okay, that is very good, and it shows. But now what I want you to be is accountability partners as well, all right? Because you're good at going to the frog, you get your bow to the frog, you don't get your bow so much to the frog, all right? So you're holding accountable. However, your wrist in your left hand is a nice straight line. You like to bring your wrist up to that fingerboard and give us what we call like pizza hand, all right? So we're accountable that her wrist is straight. Because the thing is, when you have someone else looking at you, you can see when it's not happening, right? So that's why you're able to do accountability partners and all. All right, sweet. Let's start at the second half since last time we worked on the first half. Alrighty? I know, that's when it starts to get, it gets real. Is that any good? Yeah, 50 is good. 50 is good. And I won't have, can you give like a 3-minute warning? Sure. Do you want to give me when we have like 3 minutes left? You want to just let me, okay. Thank you. Okay. Okay, so 50 is fun. Because it's, the whole thing is a dialogue, but it happens in shorter bits at 50, so you really get a sense when you're sitting in the audience, they're like, oh, they're commenting on each other. So what we need to do is break up what these comments are about. If you have the 16th note, it's more so in the lower half. And when you have the 8th notes, then that was in the upper half. Okay? And it also has the articulation of détaché. So putting a pause in the bow. Alright? What's your name? Sebastian. Sebastian, can you give us one moment just to have a string sectional and then we'll bring you in, okay? Can the two of you start right on 50? Good.
I had a meeting with the principal. Okay, I'm gonna go. Because I had a meeting with the principal and he said to go. Yes, I got his phone.
That's what you want to do instead of doing your okay? So that good. Now yours, I know your 16 notes are trickier because of where you have to play them. But you're doing nicely that you're working on a fit, right? Can you play that bit for me? Play the 1 and 1 on the A string and the A string. Yes, like that. Full bow. And now up go to the frog. One more time. Down and up. Okay, so when you come to your frog, it jumps. It's alright, it's carpeted. We're good. Okay, put your violin back up. Alright, so when you come to your frog, you want to do a so you roll out and you roll to the Does that make sense? So you open out and you come and come down. Can you do that again with your kid? Good. Can you bring your wrist over your wrist? Like that. Do it one more time. Yes, but in the middle you have to switch it. It comes in, but then it goes out. In. Keep going. In. This way. Yes, now keep going. All the way. Up. Yes, that's the frog. So that's the part of the frog I want you to use. Okay? Can you try yours one more time? But don't have to start it up. You have to play it from here down. Yes. That is excellent for a first shot. Do you feel the muscles that work to get there? Okay, so those are what we use. And then, this is going to work. Can you play what you have, the third bar on 50? So 53. It's your 8 notes, right? Okay, it's going to sound a little weird, but can you start on 50? You start on 53. I want you to play your 8 notes together and match the articulation. Good. That was very together. You hear the articulation how it's short. When you get there, even though you don't play it at the same time, play it the same way. Okay? One more time, 50, just the strings, and then we'll be ready to go. Yes. Good. The articulations are matching much more. I know you're thinking about a lot. Don't worry about it. We're going to put it together. No, it's fine. We'll put it together later. Okay, can you join us at 50 Sebastian? Have you started chewing where you sniff, scroll goes up, and you stay on the down? Have we been doing that?
Yeah, concerts, only one.
Oh, no, okay. So here's the thing. We have to practice the way we perform. Otherwise, when you perform, it feels different, and then it gets scary. But if you always do what you do, then there's no reason to change it. Like you are who you are, right? If you don't change, it's easy to be who you are. Same with what we do. Okay, so even when you're just practicing a section, practice the cue. Because it's a little tricky, right?
Yeah.
So give yourself time to practice it. So in your head, you can do your counting or go up one way. Okay? See if you can start us off with your cue sniff. One more time. That's pretty good. We also want to do the stop. So basic, I mean right now we're standing so we can see, but if you give a big enough motion, Sebastian's going to be there. Now, I want you to move your claw in this direction. So you pull it toward you, you move it away. Pull in towards you, scoot it away. Pull in. Can you do that only with your fingers? So notice how my arm is in it. Just my fingers are doing that. Just your fingers. Then, so bend as though you're gonna like make a fist. Bend like you're gonna make a fist. Yeah. Yeah. And then let those fingers go. This, let it go. This. Hold it. Hold it over in your hand. Yes. Yes. Good. And now when you straighten, see if you can keep it. You see how when I straighten, those fingers are still on. So that's the thing. So when you go straight, let yours make your fingers go straight. Yes, yes, now listen. See what I'm breaking your fingers off. So what we're trying to do is isolate these numbers. Okay? But to do that, you have to keep these fingers on the butt. Are you still working on it? I can work over it. Yeah. Yeah, for full action here. Yes, yes, really easy there. Let me put my violin down first. Did you give us our warning? I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. The whole class can learn. Yeah, okay. They want to make sure everyone, you guys are so far, you might as well just migrate this way. Okay, and if you can't see, feel free to like come up closer. So we're trying to isolate, you can do this in your seats. We're trying to isolate the second knuckle of your fingers. So see if you can just bend your fingers in half. Yeah, and then take them back out. So that's what we're doing, except we're doing it with a bow in our hands. So keep that there. I know that we're going to win our seniors, so you can go straight. So what needs to stay on the floor is feel that? Yes, we're done. Look at my God. Yes. You need to be here about it. Yeah. Yes, not straight enough. That's how you push it. See? But you stay on there. Keep working on that, okay? Okay. Okay. For you. Very good. But now, I want you to do that. Okay? All right, now do the same thing with the yeah. You got that? Okay. Now, you're so you'll have more space on the boat, but if you want to do it, okay? Okay. Good. All right, so now can you do A, up bow, A, down bow, up bow, yep, and on the up bow, you use your bend, so straight, bend. Okay, keep working at it. Let me see yours. Only as much as your fingers can. Great. Now elbow. Yes. So that's what you need. So when you do da 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 da, bend our fingers for the down bow, and then we take it up as much as we can the up bow. Okay. Are we out of time? All right, we have to switch. So. Yeah. Yeah. Incorporate it. Okay. All right. I'm sorry if you didn't play as much. You guys sound fantastic. So before we switch, I'll just demonstrate what we were working on. So the hardest part of the bow to use is the frog. Yeah, would we all agree? Cellists are different, yeah? But violinists, violists, we're up here and accessing this part of our knuckles, like this part of the fingers, isn't easy. So when you're doing this, you're just starting to strengthen these muscles that we're going to use, right? So then you can try with a pencil or an iPad or any writing device. Yeah. If you have a writing device, use that as your. So can I see if there's one second? If you do have a pen, just be sure when you use the pen rests underneath the fingers, like at that line, the first line. Okay. So if you're using the pen or the pencil and everything's on top, that's not the feel. You got to drop these fingers down. Yes. Pinky taps on top, okay? All right, so your writing device works, but then you want to practice the bend and the string. That's what we're doing, okay? And then when you bring it to the bow, let your bow rest at the frog. You have to spend time where it's uncomfortable, right? It's not don't avoid it because you'll never use it. So get there and then see if you can start to practice what you did with your pen. Yeah? And then, when you pull the bow, you want the bow to feel the grit, like the contact with the string. Like so often, we like try to do that in the bow shake. Does your bow shake? Your bow shakes, right? Because we're like trying to hold it and then everything is tense. And it's really hard. So if you let everything rest, okay? Feel that string. The string to make it vibrate. That's what we're trying to do. So we're trying to like get in there and feel it versus like try to avoid it and not let the bow touch it. Does that make sense? So then when you do your back double, there's that little motion of reaction, okay? So if you build it up quite slowly because it isn't something that's, I mean, you know, no other time do you need to be able to access these muscles. So it's understand we don't have it, but to make that go faster, it has to be in the lower half, but to do it in the lower half, you have to do it through here. All right? Anybody have any questions? Awesome. All right, next. Oh yes, one more round of applause. you? Good job. That's so good. Honestly, it just takes practice performing in front of your peers. I find to be personally, I think the peers are the hardest one. But they're also the most proud of you. They're so proud of you. Wasn't that great? Yeah. That's so good. Excellent, you guys. When you come up to play in front of anyone, you feel a lot of things, right? A lot of things go through your head. So one thing I love to think about is how I feel about music. Because then there's no wrong, right? No one can tell you right or wrong how to feel about music. And honestly, all we want to do is be moved or like feel something by what has just happened, all right? So when in doubt, all the thoughts are racing through, see if you can take it there, all right? So what sort of character at the top are you thinking about? Have you discussed this?
The first one?
Yeah, the first movement. Let's go back to the first movement.
It's like upbeat, joyful,
Yeah.
be happy.
Yes, I like it, but what are you thinking?
I feel like the same thing. And I think that towards the end, it's kind of like
Yes, then we're moving into what the second movement is going to be more about, right? Okay, great. So off the top though, can you like just bombard us with joyfulness? With like that excitement? The answer is yes. Okay. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. No, but we can totally make that happen. Before we get into that, I just want to talk about the cue. Did you see what I was saying with that?
Yeah.
So when you come up to perform, it's totally fine to take time to feel that pulse for yourself. And if you like give the slightest tap to the toe, it's okay. Just keep it like keep it a secret. Yeah? Okay. So once you do that, if you're gonna count 3, I like to go out. So 3, 4. Okay? Now the thing is, it's not a one-person job. You've got to be like a mirror. You have to reflect what you see so we know you're going to like be there with us. Okay? So once you see the 3, help breathe on 4 and then release on 1. Okay? So we're all breathing on 4. I'm going to be a part of this too. What's that first? Okay, an A. All right? Okay. So then also, are you going to cue the 8 note, so dot, 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 or do you want to cue the quarter, da, 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 da? You see the difference?
Yeah.
One is quick, one is longer.
I think that
Do you like that 8 note cue? Okay. Well. So it'll just be the same gesture but faster. So basically, don't take the arm too far down. Take it more out. So ba, ba, da, da. Right? Okay. You got this. Good. One more. Now, actually, can you start the cue? You give the 3, the 4, and the. We'll be with you on 4, but you show us when you start. Okay, so then for a pitch, you're both ready to pitch, right? So just do like pretend you're a conductor, and then when you get to 4, come back. So 3, 4, 1. Yes. So for cellists, since you don't need to hold something, the head can move like more. That was gonna be good. That was good. Yes, it's the motion. You know what? The 3 is really good. Be confident with your 4. 3. Like really show us the 4. You can even like sniff if you don't want to show us. Give us sound. Yes, that was so great. Okay, so now we all do it together.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Okay, one more time. I won't play. Yes. So exactly that every time you practice it, though. Okay, and then it'll start to become more natural. Now, joy. How are we going to show joy? Favorite note in that first bar? That last A?
Yeah.
Okay, but this bar.
Yeah.
That's kind of funky, right? I don't know if Vivaldi would have done that, but I like that he offers it. Okay, can you bring out that want resonance, but it's got to be strong on the left hand. Try your mids. You feel the difference? Okay, do your first like 4 notes. Okay, for a cello, can you think, instead of lifting your finger every time you go to one string, think that you're going to like roll it and get there. Yes, yes, like that. Yes. You see how your brain has to think less because your hand's pretty close to the string. All you think about is like refixing the string. Okay, try it one more time. That's great. Fantastic. That's great. Okay, one more time. Look at you guys. Good. Now, sorry. Can we be more extreme with our dynamics? You're laying down a nice bass line. So this one, we're not going to get so many dynamics with the hits. So it's all up to us. Let's start quieter. More. More. You see that? So you have 3 tiers. So do the first one softly. Now more. Now the most. Fantastic. Okay, one more time the top, but when you get there, do that. Now most. Okay, did you hear the dynamics in the beginning? Right? It's more fun with the dynamic scheme, right? Okay, so when you get to this top, don't just think like, don't mess up the notes. They have no idea what the notes are. Okay? Alright? So, like, make it fun by making these dynamics really extreme. When you get here, I want you to think of gravity being your best friend. So gravity is helping the left hand and the right hand. Feel how this is like strong now? Keep that strong. Can you play your bow now? Yes! You see how it helps? Actually, if this hand is stronger, if this goes light, the bow's like, I don't know where I'm going. And I agree, I don't know where to take the bow. Okay? So this hand is firm and your shoulder is firm. Let the shoulder rest on the violin. Play it one more time. Okay, good. Now when you get to your 16th, this is your time to play. You were like so delicate, you were starting watching, but now you know what to do, okay? Can you play it slower once from your 16th? Okay. So how about da 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 da. And what if, since I'm not a cellist, you just say no, okay? What if your bow is on the string longer? Maybe a little longer. Yes, that was a great start. And then the other thing is we want to finish going down, like down, 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 down. Yes, yes, yes. And remember the whole roll thing? Yeah. When you're able to keep your hands closer to the fingerboard, it's less work for the brain. Okay? So can we start right on bar 8? We can go back to closer to tempo. Da, da, da. Is this a good tempo? I'll count to 1. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Awesome. Round of applause. Let's start walking. Yes. Yes. Excellent. Just like that. Okay, any questions? Questions? Concerns? That's joyful though. You see how then it's like busting out and easy words on like just enjoy. Okay? It sounds great, you guys. Thank you.
All right, round of applause, you guys.
Awesome. When did you start playing? Well, violin. Generally speaking, when you started at 4? Oh wow. And then when did you start to speak? Last week? Oh, last month. Okay. No, but that's still really great. Okay, so when you come up to perform, remember what I was saying for the duo about the F holes getting to your audience? So if your stand is right in front of you, it takes away from both the sound and also them being able to see what you're doing. Okay? So when you put your violin up, naturally when you want to look at something, your eyes go this way, right? So just bring the stand within eyesight, but not directly in front of your nose. Does this feel okay? Now here's the trick. You don't want to turn your body. So if I were going to place the stand for me to play something, it would be here. You see what I mean? But still my body faces this way and the stand is off to the side. Okay? So that's me. But let's see if we can find where it can be comfortable for you that's not right in front. So if I were going to be your audience, can you see okay? I don't want it to be, you can also stay closer to the stand. Does that work? Okay, great. So that's so fun. It's so beautiful. Have you played this with piano yet? I think you're right. So when you're holding, like for instance, when you have these long notes down here, there's a lot happening in the piano, which helps them develop and make sense. But what I wanted to talk to you about is since there are a lot of long notes, what are we going to do with them? So when you're playing long notes, something more is happening, either in your head, your heart, your fingers, your hands, the instrument, you know what I mean? So we want to show that development. See how they were different? One had an intention of going to where we're going, the other had an intention of getting there, but then maybe slightly away. All right, you want to start at the top and think about your long notes. Good. I definitely heard it. Now I want you to think what the violin does. Can the violin play the bow? So not just the bow to the violin, because then it goes this way, but can the violin play to the bow? Now just once, pretend this is forte, okay? Comfortable, loud, sing, project to the back of the hall. Yes, okay, keep that core. So all it is that is, instead of that, the bow stays very connected, and we just move it a little slower with a little less down force. Yeah. Okay, good. Now when it jumps, can we play one note and I want you to actually breathe out of your mouth. Blow air out of your mouth. Yes, go back to that G. We're only going to play our G, okay? Good. Do it one more time. Good. Keep the air flowing out, okay? Air flows out, and you're relaxing your shoulder down. Good. And now I think it's actually physical. Rest your hand on at the bottom of the string. Good. Can you rest like into it? Okay. And now start to pull, but keep the resting happening. See how it's gone? You see how it's gone? So when you get ready to release it from the string, that's when it hops, and that's when you tell yourself to put it back down. But before you start, see if you can find that connection, and then simply let the string rest in. One more time, just the G. another thing is I started to see that the bow pressure, if it's too much down, the violin takes it with it. So to help keep the violin up, it's not just the hand, it's really like your posture. So think of having like a tall, proud posture when you're playing, okay? Let's do the next entrance. If we get our dynamic up when it passes this day crescendo for us to do, then we can do it. But if we're too soft right beforehand, do you see what I mean? So be sure you're a nice dynamic in this part. Can you start? Let's start on the F sharp. Good. That's a really, really nice high note, right? Also, thank you for cheering for the high note. Good. Now to help me comfortable. I want you to fill where the 3 goes with the 1 down. So find your D with the 1. Feel that stretch? So now if you were in that position, play what the scale would be. All you do is move from there to there. How far? A half step, yes. So do that. Yes, and now try to feel the half step before you play it. Yes, and if you practice it with the 1 down, every time you get there you'll nail it. Okay, so that you don't have to think, will I make it? Yes, but you know where it goes. Can you start the drill? Almost. It was ready to go down, but not the half step up. Do it one more time. We'll show. Now what? So the thing about practicing is we get really good at what we practice. So if you practice being scared, you get good at being scared. If you practice sometimes making it, sometimes not, you get really good at sometimes making it, sometimes not. But if you put a system in place so that you practice nailing it, then more times than not, you will nail it, because that's how you practice it. Does that make sense? So when you have something that feels scary, just see if you can make a system so you practice it well, not being scared. Does that make sense? Yeah. Let's keep going. Can we start on this entrance? Where is it? Okay. Remember violin to bow. Yes. Okay, so with this 3, we practice our fifth. Now with just the left hand rules. Yes, and what if, so bring your thumb to the violin. Can you let your pinky relax up? Yes, now bring your thumb back. Good, and now can you vibrate? Does that feel free? Or do you want even more? Do you let your thumb go for freedom? I'm wondering. The thing is, when we let our thumbs go, the intonation can go with it, okay? So that's why I'm wondering if you can find your freedom and the vibrato with the thumb there. It's really good. Try that, go. Good. And the other thing I want you to think about going toward the freedom you want. I don't want to take the freedom away. It's okay? Alright, so when you're practicing in your practice room, instead of just moving the finger, feel like the tip of the finger that you want to vibrate is vibrating. Alright, one more time. Start there, keep going. Okay, now wait. You've got to know where the 2 goes before we pick up the 3, or else we'll make it sometimes, not all the time. So put your 3 down. Good. Now keep that there. Now pick up the. Feel how far back that is? Okay. One more time. Start. Good. Keep going. Okay. Now I want you to do that whole thing again, because just because the hand goes up. Goes higher, the bow has to get closer to the bridge. And then you're already there where the bow needs to be, but you like the pressure. Does that make sense? Do you feel the difference in your bow arm? Okay, so when you're home, practice in front of the mirror. Make sure your violin is up, bow is closer to the bridge. And then start to see if you can know what we were talking about with the bow staying glued to the string. Yes, so like you're holding, it's like you're holding the string. The sound in your head. Okay? Alright, excellent. Are there any questions from any of you?
I have a question for you for the class. So I'm usually doing a school class finding for getting players
Yeah.
suggest finger vibrato, arm vibrato, what do you
In a way I would suggest, I mean, I know what you mean, but in a way, not quite thinking of which it is, but just starting to feel flexibility and freedom for it to be something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, so we've got, if you do an arm vibrato, like the whole arm is going, right? And then a wrist vibrato, I'm not demonstrating this very well. Cool. And then a finger vibrato. So ideally one day you can connect all of them. You can choose if you want to do one of the 3. But to begin with, like being able to just free the arm enough so that the motion happens, and then bringing it back to localize it so that because what's most important, when you vibrate, if you lose your intonation, it's pointless to vibrate. Don't vibrate, okay? First play in tune. Because if you play in tune, your violin will vibrate for you, and that's what you want. But then once you're in tune, if you can keep that connection with the tip of your finger, then find the freedom, that's where your vibrato starts to go from. Does that make sense? So I don't know what all is shaking, but yeah, of course. Very good question though.
Do you guys have any questions, especially when she was talking to the other students, anybody here, or
Other instruments. I can sort of play viola, just because it's like basically the same setup, but reading the class is tricky. So like I can't, if you just put music and say read it, it's not going to be great. But I know how to play the instrument. I had to take piano for a little while, and I played flute in the 5th grade, but same, like I don't really get to play them. So yes and no, like the basics of being able to make sound on an instrument, once you spend a lot of time with an instrument, you can put the physics together of doing it on almost any instrument. So, yes? So the question is, does the type of instrument I have affect my playing? And the answer is definitely yes. So this instrument is a borrowed instrument because it's very valuable and I wouldn't be able to pay for it myself. But it's old and the wood comes from a time period that was like a special quality that allowed instruments to give a resonance that's really like full and warm and balanced. Like the physics of building an instrument are really well, yes. So yes, no, I can't let you but so basically it resonates in a way that's quite special. But what I own is a modern instrument. It's very good and by a very good maker, but it sounds different. It sounds new, it sounds fresh. You know how with a car you want a brand new car? With an instrument you want a really old instrument. It's like the opposite. So the older the instrument, the more valuable. So this one is from 1767. Then it's probably broken. Yeah. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, it also has to be very well taken care of. Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna ask you. Well, it's probably me. Did I see anyone that I was like, holy cow? You know what? So here's the thing. The Grammy has 2 events. There's a daytime event where they hand out most of the Grammys, like 80 of them. And then the nighttime event is the one you watch if you watch it on TV or whatever, you know, a screen, whatever. And there they only give out, what, like 13 Grammys or something? Because it's more about the show. So during the day, Billie Eilish was there to accept the Grammy. That surprised me, because usually during the day, if famous people win, like Michelle Obama won for narrating her book, right? But she wasn't at the Grammys. So they just say, we'll accept it on behalf of Michelle, and they're going to mail it to her, right? But Billie was there, so Billie went out and like gave a speech and like, you know, the whole thing. You know what, I didn't speak. So I was with a group on my album. There were about 13 of us for the project, and all of us were there. So when we won, we were scattered. We weren't even seated together. Like when it's like going to, well, a movie is a good example because you can like reserve your seats in the movie now, right? Does anybody remember when you used to not do that? Remember when you just like would walk in and just hope you get a good seat at the movies? That's how it is during the daytime. So by the time I got there, the front was taken, I was like in the middle, right? And so you're just watching this thing. So then when you win, you have 45 seconds to get to the stage, accept the thing, give a speech, da-da-da. I was one of the last of the 13 to get there. So like we had decided we would speak and they were speaking. And you're in such shock. I'm glad I didn't have to speak. I don't know what I would have said. Like thank you, listen, next time I'm gonna be ready, okay? How about that? So it was very exciting. So yes, I did see some famous, sort of from afar though, right? Because after the daytime, I went to the nighttime. So I was seated pretty close, so like you can see Beyonce, you can see Jay-Z. But it's not like I was at the table to speak to them or anything like that. Yeah, no, that's a big thing. How do you play one string or manage your vocal control? First of all, you have to stare at what's happening, okay? A lot of times we practice and we're just trying to do a lot of stuff and things are moving and we're not thinking about it. So when you're home, play one string at a time and stare at it happening. And when you go to another string, I said win because it's gonna happen. It happens to me too, right? When you go to another string, see if you can correct it slowly. Because you have to figure out how did you correct, if you go fast, what just happened, right? So, slowly correct it, and then watch yourself keep it there, and think about what muscles are being helped. But basically, you have to spend time doing what you want to be able to do. So if you want to be able to play one string, spend time seeing how you do that. If you want to be able to play 2 notes at a time, spend time seeing how you're able to do that. All right?
So Melissa, I don't want to cut anyone off, but I know that you want to leave before the buses, and you want to take a picture.
Oh yeah.
So would you be able to take a picture? We're going to put it on our Instagram too, right, Joy?
Right.
We're going to put it on our